Hi, it is April 27th, 2024. As you can see, I oppose communism. And to me, communism and slavery are synonymous because both involve trapping a population against their will, forcing them to do things they don't want to do with the threat of violence. And so I oppose slavery, and that's a really big deal for me. That's what my program's all about. And there's a lot of slavery in this world. And there's different degrees of restrictions that are placed on various populations. Someone in federal prison has higher degree of restriction than someone who's not. But the government abuses everyone. And I want that to end. Most of the people who say free Palestine are left-leaning, but not everyone who says it is, and I'm an example of that. My belief is that the government of Israel is cruel and needs to be ended, along with the federal government and the state and local governments of the United States. Now, I don't support the use of violence in affecting political change. I believe in discourse, and I accept that I live within a legal system that has been established and that is widely seen as a legitimate authority by the population of the land in which I live. So my objective is not to propose violence or really violence, but to convince other people that I'm right so that we can take whatever necessary legal action needs to be taken to end these slave states. I've spoken with communists. I have an example of such a conversation on my website, if you're interested. But I don't believe in it. I believe that people should be free to own property, and that only slaves are told that they may not. I believe each landowner should be free to accept anyone they want onto their land, and that government shouldn't tell people who landowners can have take refuge on their land if compassion dictates to that landowner that that's what they want to do. I also think landowners should be free to exclude anyone they want from their land, even if their exclusions seem unjust to others. Again, I believe in discourse, and I believe that through that, people can figure out what's just. And I believe a system where each landowner gets to decide how their kingdom should be run is the most just system. You know, there's people say free Palestine, but what are they going to do even if you free them right now? There's no food, all the buildings are destroyed, there's probably disease, all kinds of horror. They need somewhere to go, they need employment, they need economic opportunities. And that's what can happen if each landowner and each business that's run on that land is free to decide who they may employ, who they may grant refuge to. So, on a personal level, I have resumed my little habit this weekend because I was suffering this morning and I wasn't being productive. And the whole point of quitting was to be more productive so that I could end the suffering of myself and others. So right now it's a tool I'm going to use. I'm going to take a step back from poker for a little while. We got the World Series starting in about a month, and I got a couple tournaments up there I want to play. But from now till then, I'm not going to play much because I want to be productive, and I just don't think that's the most productive place for me right now. I think right now I need to work on my books as much as I can to finish them. So that's what I'm going to be doing today and tomorrow. And until I can finish them. And I'm still going to work. I'm going to put in my hours at my job. But in the evenings, on the weekends, this is where my focus is going to be. Because once I get that book in hand, now the casino becomes more productive. Because even if I'm not winning at poker, maybe I can give some books away, you know. I've given a fair amount of books away at the casino, but my first edition just didn't hit the mark. Now, this is one thing that sucks, is that it makes me cough, and that I had this injury last Saturday, and I hit my head real hard, and I got a concussion, and I've hit my head hard quite a few I got a scar right here. My friend opened up my head one time when we were drunk. And then another time I fell down some stairs when I was drunk and I hit my head real hard. And I've been in some boxing matches back in the Navy. We used to do that in some guy's garage. And I used to bang my head when I was in the Navy too on the fucking low overhanging. And I was just thinking about it and I'm like, fuck, I might have fucked my shit up, man. But if I did, at least I got my books done before I fucked my shit up. And at least I learned a lot of shit before I became too stupid to learn new shit. So, this world is about survival when it really comes down to it. I don't know how long I'm going to survive in this world if my brain is fucked. And if I got other issues I can't overcome. But that's another good reason not to write, not to play poker, and to focus on writing right now. Because wind just knocked something over, no big deal. And my books are already written, I just got to revise them. So I'll get them as good as I can. And then I'll just try to distribute them and Maybe I'll bust this shirt out at the World Series, man. I like doing shit like that, man. Start some conversations, play some poker. Maybe I'll get my books done by the World Series so I can just have them in hand, That sounds good to me, man. I think my job performance, I know I'm doing the best I can fucking do. And I think it's good enough. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a fucking all-star. But I'm also banging out a lot of fucking work that I don't think anyone else is going to want to fucking do. So, and I'm staying focused. I'm getting shit done. Make mistakes sometimes, but it's a tough business, man. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot to keep track of, and we just do our best, man. So, I just wanted to stop in here. I also realized I did some stupid shit on Wednesday. I didn't really think things all the way through. I got real high and I just made a comment in a communication that maybe gave away a lot, but I mean, shoot for the moon, kid. And maybe you'll land in the fucking stars, right? So I don't remember who said that. I know I didn't come up with it. Gosh. I shed some tears sober. Maybe I'll shed some more now. And I hadn't for a while. I think tolerance breaks are important. I think it's important to remember what the world is like when you're really having to deal with it without any assistance. So many people are suffering, man. The people in Gaza, the people in prison, and all the people working these jobs that are just soul-sucking. None of this needs to None of this will go on forever. I don't know. I'm feeling like I want to be authentic and I want to be real. I don't want to be like overly dramatic. But I also sometimes just take some time to figure out what I want to say. Because I don't want to waste your time. These universities, these students, I mean, they see the genocide part of it, but they don't see that our democracy, our government is the problem. That it's that which has brought about all this, man. Freedom is the fucking solution. But democracy ain't fucking freedom, dude. It's fucking oppression, man. And it leads to corruption and cruelty and violence and suffering and fucking Gaza, man. So hopefully I can change some minds at some point. I get to a point of despair sometimes 'Cause it seems like I've gone on for so long, and yet still nobody listens. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to understand why I believe what I believe. All they want to do is fling shit and see other people fucking suffer. And I'm so tired of it, man. So, I can forgive people if they give me a fucking chance, If they just come to the table, if they just say, I'm sorry.